Hey, we got Drewz Viewz here, and I'm back for a little Anime Monday, reacting to this here anime on Monday. And today I am concluding Susuno Frieren, Frieren Beyond Journey's End Season 1 with episode 28. It would be embarrassing when we met again. So, not sure on the, it's a long title of the episode and grammatically a bit sauce there, but not sure who this is, who's talking in this kind of sentence of the title here. Is it like between Frieren and Siri meeting again? I don't know if they would see each other in this episode. They might. Last time Siri failed her for the exam, like Frieren told Fern she knew she was gonna fail, that Fern would pass because Siri always makes the right call or something like that. Yeah. And then the past flashback, they had already said they probably wouldn't see each other again, and of course they did this time. So yeah, maybe it's between the two of them talking to each other, or it could be someone completely different, a different group of people. We'll see. But yeah, this final episode is going to wrap up the first class mage exam arc, which mostly got wrapped last time, I think. Like I just said, well, basically Siri was having them come in one at a time, because at part 2, second stage of the exam, due to Frieren being there and people working together, which Sherry said she wasn't against working together, but Frieren was too strong, so too many people passed that were not worthy. So she took over the third stage of the exam, which she wasn't originally going to do, and then basically the test is like, can you see yourself as the first class mage? So like, for example, Kana couldn't, and she knew right away. She was like scared of Siri's, aura, essentially. I mean, her mana, really, whatever. But there's a whole thing about the mana, hiding the mana this time, or a waiver in the mana, which is how Fern actually passed then. She spotted it. It was set up by Siri talking with her kind of top guy, that he spotted Frieren's situation, but not her own, Siri. But Fern did spot it. There's a thing about the Demon King spotting on Frieren as well. But basically, Siri and Frieren have the same mana situation, which most people can't tell that it's wavering or whatnot. I can't remember, blanking on the exact word they used, but Frieren said Siri would be impressed by Fern, and she was then, even though initially thought she wouldn't be. But yeah, when Fern came up with that, she tried to steal her away as her new student, but Fern had been coached by Frieren before to say she'll pass you regardless. If she's impressed, don't give in to what she says. So she denies it. Frieren is her master. But yeah, I guess I was thinking that only maybe one of the two would get passed, because they don't need both. They're sticking together. They need just one to have the first class designation to go forward with going to the Northern Lands. And like Siri said, Frieren doesn't really see herself as this mage. She doesn't really ultimately think it's that important, I guess, or care about getting these certifications. So kind of makes sense she would fail her, even though it's like, I do think Frieren can still do whatever she wants. I mean, the only one that probably could stop her is Siri herself, and I don't think she cares that much to do so, but we'll see. Definitely an interesting push and pull that I've talked about in the past couple episodes between Siri and Frieren's kind of mindset, what they think is important, magic, the whole thing with the Field of Flowers being Frieren's favorite spell. Last time when we learned that she had met Himmel as a child, when he was a child, interestingly enough too, and showed him that spell, and then he sought her out later, or when he came across her later, he remembered, brought her on board, and the whole team was able to defeat the Demon King. They needed all of them. So yeah, it was a really good episode last time, but we didn't quite get wrapped up on, like, we didn't see if Denkin is going to pass and a couple other people. So I think so far Fern's the only one. I assume we'll see what happens with everyone else. At least Denkin, I would have to assume. They set the character up a lot, so yeah, he was talking to Richter last time too, and trying to give him some advice or whatever in his own way. Laufen, his other pseudo-grandchild, did fail, of course. Saw that one coming. And also Ubel and Land, we didn't see what if they're gonna pass either. Will Siri let that psycho Ubel pass? I don't know. We gotta see what happens. I assume that, I mean, with Fern and Frieren, I would think would get reconnected with Stark here, grab him, and keep going north. Yeah, I wonder what else will get wrapped up. We'll see. But it would be embarrassing if I didn't start watching the episode. Let's do it.
フリーレン様の弟子です。
合格だ。次。
No title screen. Okay. Alright, here's Duncan with Siri, it looks like.
お前のことはよく知っている。軍所属の魔法使いの権力を持った魔法の美談はよく聞く。お前が若い頃に身の毛と野心に満ち溢れ、私は燃えかすには興味はない。っていたのだがな。
今は違うのか。
私を見たとき、どう戦う？
ほんの一瞬だけだ。
合格だ。戦うだなんて発想は湧かない。次。合格。
まだ何も話す。
会話が必要なのか。
俺もそうだね。
次。ふざけるなよ。一級試験だぞ。
一応この通り試験会場に来ているよ。
期間中、本体は故郷。今はのんびり
ユーベルにもバレない。
実にいい度胸だ。
Okay, he's passing for that.
次。
Wow. Alright, he should pass. What about? I almost forgot about him.
隊長のビア一番の武闘派だ。勝てない相手だとない。
勝てない勝負をする。
それもそうだ。魔法を教えろ。
She wants to have a little conversation.
私の道具だぜ。好きもき。
合格だ。
She likes him now. Oh, yeah, I forgot about her too.
私を見てどう思った？
ちっちゃくてか。
今年の受験合格だ。
Really? Okay, that's a little surprising. They're ending with her. Huh.
全然。すまなく、確かに今年は
Did 5 people pass? 6 people, I think.
落ちちゃった。ついてくるなよ。
3年後か。
Oh, you're young, Canna.
フリーレン様、受かりました。よくやった。
フリーレン。ここまで今日に墓参りに行け。
そう。
ラン、まだかよ。
Alright, Stark's back and back with the food. Cookies or pretzels?
これにしましょう。これ。
Laufen's still hanging out. Grab a Duncan.
遠慮せず。
Tea time.
私の若い頃は甘いものな。
ありがとうございます。
何この状況。
Just enjoy it. Stark.
若造も食べ。
ありがとうじいさん。
This whimsical music.
宮廷魔法使いのって
宮廷魔法。お貴族様じゃ。タメ口叩いてすみ。
甘わんこの町に来た。
でも
道などない。
です。お孫さんとか。
わしには子も孫も
Never had kids. So.
に妻に先立たれた。
Been dead a long time.
だが弱かった。武高原の辺境期からのわしには富も権力、わしは知らんかった。かげて大陸魔法協会をからだ。あれほど楽なものだ。今ではわしは国にとって魔法は清掃の道具でに伝えてくれんかのだったと久々に思い。私は勇者一行のフリーレンになったんだ。
伝えてください。きっとフリーレン様も喜び。
It's 50-50.
そうだな。
What is Frieren up to? Oh, of course.
少し追いサーストだね。いい魔導。
おいババア。
Horrible being hopeful as usual.
あれを無視はねえだろ。少しだけか。ヒンメルの仲間なら。
ヒン方こそ意外だったかな。エルンたちを殺そうとしてそうなやつだって。
よく言われるわな。単なる脅しだよ。
They all passed actually.
どのためになりそうなやつはいたけどな。
Fern/Ubel's group.
でする。頼もう。 望む魔法が与えられるとそれだけ魔族をぶっ殺せるからな。ない場所でも困っているやつ、俺の故郷は北ツアーはいくらでも。
It all comes back to Hamel, right here.
戦騎士なるベーゼや光極竜とのそんな冒険探が大好きだった。友はそんな話めったにしとった魔物を退治しただの、やれ商人の護衛をしなる荷物運びまで全然大したことじゃねえ。あのジジババは神速勇者ヒンメルが魔族の残党が暴れ始めてから。
So did demons start acting up again specifically when Hamel died?
戦況の塔もベーゼもすら俺の村には関係。日々の生活を守るシャヒンメルが俺の村に世話になっても、そこに俺の村。
何が言いたいの？
俺をここまで連れてきたのは少し長話が過ぎ、一緒に帰ることになっちまった。
Still wanna hang out with him. Have him carry them?
フリーレン、出会いは大切にだったのは何も死別だけじゃ逆の承知か。
ここで向こうまで順番に運んだりは。
私だけこっちに残っちゃうでしょ。
ここも早く魔王を倒さねばならん。人助けに何の意味が。
とこんなことをしたって僕は目の前で
大丈夫だよヒンメル。世界はちゃんと変わっている。
今夜特権の授与がでもいいそうです。
Wonder what Fern's gonna get.
みんなで一緒に行きましょう。すごく嫌そう。
She doesn't want to see Siri again.
申し訳ありません。ゼーリエ様からの通達。千年は大陸魔法教徒。フリーレン様が何？
ゼーリエの機嫌を損ねてしまう子供みたいな人だよね。できたわけじゃないし、外で待っているね。
俺も外で待ってるよ。
そろそろ特権の授与が終わる頃かな。
What do I think it's gonna get to? Because
魔
he's
法使いの頂点か。
deleted his privilege
フェ
many
ルンも
years
立
ago
派になった
now.
ね。
Doesn't matter. He said he didn't care about it before.
フェルンの方が有名な魔法使いになるんだろうね。嬉しいね。
だな。
フリーレン様、
大陸魔法協会の
会のレルネンです。ゼイリエ様の弟子のご迷惑をおかけして。
昔からそういう人だったからやっぱり見えているね。私の魔力
Instability, that's the word they used.
ない手誰だ。
Not wavering.
使わしくないね。
そうですね。いらない時代遅れの魔法にもよく言われます。魔王軍との戦火の時代とともに
Born in the wrong era.
そう。それでは
中で歴史に名を残る大魔法使いフランメンに来た証がまた一つ。
He's gonna try to join them or something.
私はあの方をさせたくないのです。レン様を討ち取ったという悪
Oh,
夢。
he's gonna try to kill her. Okay, I was way off. So this dude's fucking crazy.
願えますか、フリーレン。
ないよ。時間の無駄だ。愛しか知らない魔法使いは不器用な連中がを残す必要なんてないよ。ゼーリエはちゃんと最後に一ついい。魔法で作られたものだ。好きだった魔法だ。だって言っていなかったっけ。
正直フランメは失敗作だながら、私ほどの高見えはもうたくさんの弟子を取ったよ。足元にも及ばないままほとんど。だが不思議なものだ。
Almost though.
まぐれで取ったはずの弟子なのに法も鮮明に思い出せるが、私は弟子を取ってことは一度もないんだ。その名を残せずとも。
気持ちを伝えられないんだ。桃みたいな人だよ。
フリーレン様が終わりました。
じゃあ行こうか。
肩の怪我どうしたんですか？
まだやってるかな。
本当に不器用な人だかも。私も。
今日は何して遊べ？
悪い。
シュタルク、朝目。
See what Stark was doing this whole time. Friends everywhere.
ありがと
He's gonna go for
部のみ
that. Oh, this guy.
達者でな。
う。あ、
これでオイサーストともお別れだ。
倒れていますね。
そうか。
どんな魔法をもらったの？
Didn't ask her at the time. I guess she had the injury situation.
服が綺麗になっている。なんかフローラルな香りはまさか。
の汚れをきれいさっぱり落と。これで洗濯が楽になります。
Oh, wow.
菅川生ける魔導書ゼーリエとされる伝説級の魔法だよ。シタフェルンこそ私の弟子。
A chore spell. Yeah, she truly is your apprentice.
当然です。すごく嫌そうな顔をしていましたけどね。
Naturally.
お前
だろうね。いい気味だ。
So you buy these two.
フリーレン。
私たちは不合格だったまることにするよ。またね。
またね。この時もそうでしたけど、随分あっさり別れますね。
あっさり人と別れるよね。
まあらしくないとは1週間も旅路を共にした中、それに彼とは毎晩のように酒を酌み交わして、それ
坊主。
そうまた会うことだってあるだろう。涙の別れなんて僕たちには
The eternal optimist, Himmel the hero.
また会った時に恥ずかしいからね。
He's the one who said it. But what did it mean there? Richter is with them. I wonder what kind of spell Ubel got from Siri. Oh, there's Craft. There's Sign. I feel like Ubel probably would have got something pretty sketchy.
また会った時に恥ずかしいからね。
なんです
Said it again. Alright, there's the title screen at the end. The journey to end continues. I guess it means it'll be like if there was a tearful goodbye or something, or a big crazy goodbye, then if they do, if and when they do meet again, that is what would be embarrassing. And then I guess that does make sense of the grammatical issue I was having too. Okay, I like it. Yeah, so there's the finale to Frieren Season 1. I looked it up last time. I think that 2026 should see Season 2 coming in, so really excited about that. Hopefully that stays on track to release next year. But yeah, another great episode. Really nice low-key finale that really showed the basically twist, like what the whole series has done, not being the typical fantasy action thing, but you know, even the fight. So it was interesting that the series main apprentice, who's old now, a few years, tried to fight. I was surprised, but it makes sense a little bit in hindsight. Like he wants to kill Frieren to have something on his historical record. He's born in there of peace, etc. Something for Ciri to remember. I don't think Ciri wanted Frieren killed, but then Frieren explained how she just doesn't say her feelings, and she does like all of her apprentices, even if they didn't achieve anything great. Even the one who is down in history as achieving something great in the common thought of the world is Flamme, and Ciri herself. It seems like a human wouldn't be able to really get on Ciri's level anyway. They don't have enough time, but you know, they had never. She says fighting mages can't explain their feelings enough, but that fight was, you know, she was just like, no, I'm not doing it. Meanwhile, you know, Fern gets the, much to Ciri's chagrin, gets a chore spell, basically cleaning one's clothes. Couldn't be me. I would never, you know, waste it on that. But even if it was something superfluous, seemingly. But yeah, so she wants not a fighting type of spell, not something that's gonna help them. Maybe it'll help her morale, but on the journey, but not something that's gonna help her kill demons. And then the whole thing with Warbel had the conversation with Frieren, which is making her think about Himmel, and that's why Warbel helps people too, not just to kill demons, but to help people, because that's what people talk about. Average, everyday people in a village, that's what they think is great. You know, that's what they remember, not all the fighting, etc., and the big, like, things that are big tales that are passed down. So basically, like, all these things shown in this episode are like emblematic of, yeah, the ethos of the series in general, it seems, that we saw from the beginning, where it's turning the ideas you have of this type of show on the side, like on their head, and really dealing with the everyday life aspect and how to live, you know, when you're not fighting, doing crazy magic and everything. And they still obviously had that with the whole, you know, mage exam. But even that is like, it's an exam, it's not a real battle. And this, you know, and that was the main arc of the second half of the series, really, or the second, or the last third. So yeah, it's interesting. I do like that. I mean, I'm interested to see what will happen in the second season. But it is going to continue on this way. They will start ramping up more tension with some, like, the demons regrouping. It seemed like they did imply in this one that they have started regrouping with the death of Himmel the hero, which we saw in episode 1, even though that was 20 years ago, the point of the series now, or something like that, or 30 years ago, something, I can't remember now. They stopped doing New Year since the death of Himmel the hero in the second half of the season, it seemed like, unless I'm just forgetting that they've been still doing it. But yeah, so I mean, great series. I guess I should talk about everyone else that passed too. We had Denkin talking about his wife died when he was really young, and that's around the time I guess series started, this Magic Association. So we didn't see what anyone got as their gift besides Fern, but wonder what he would have gotten. No, doesn't need anything. He really just wants to go north to go to visit the cemetery where his wife's buried, presumably. But she did pass him because he still has some spark of fire left. Then we have seen that. She passed Land for his audacity of never, that was surprising, he never even showed up at all to this whole, he's not even in the city, he's at home and he can just have his clones like do everything, which Ubel didn't pick up on apparently. But Ubel passed because, you know, I guess her different way of thinking, some would say sociopathic, but you know, she's not afraid of the moment. And then we saw Werble, because he said magic's just a tool for killing and not, spells aren't good or bad. That seems to be pretty firmly aligned with Ciri's own train of thought, so she liked that. And then I gotta look up this character's names, I can't remember, but the last one that passed at the end, who said she was cute or whatever, small and cute. Oh, Methode is her name, and she's like the one who's like the emotionally in tune kind of thing, or she's like hugging Fern and people to see about their mana. That's the most surprising one, maybe, why she was even in there. I guess because Ciri, she said she's small and cute. Ciri's like, well, that's a different way of thinking to not being scared of her, so that could be useful apparently. Interesting why she passed these people, and we saw, except for the Fern one, we saw like all the passes in this episode. I wonder if that character will be seen again, or any of these other characters. I would assume like Werble definitely seems like to be set up like someone who could be important, but I don't know. Again, it's a lot of subversion here, like I've been talking about. So, to the common themes and storytelling. But yeah, really great season 1 of the show. I'm definitely not in any way surprised why people recommended this so much. Really beautiful writing and animation, of course. You know, fun characters, some good humor thrown in, nice fantasy setting. I like pretty much everything. Even a lot of the storylines are about characters not being able to understand each other and coming to some understanding. You know, that continues between like Fern and Stark, or Fern and Frieren, and different things. So, you know, I like the theme of it overall. If it continues, it could get annoying, I guess, but I'm just like kind of grasping at straws to find some kind of criticism of the show here. But yeah, I don't really have much. Really excited for season 2 to come out. Thanks everyone so much for watching this. Let me know in the comments anything I'm forgetting, or you know, what your own thoughts are. Yeah, I'm gonna move on to a new show next Monday, a new anime. While I wait for the return of Frieren. But yeah, gotta move forward, picking a new show to react to, because frankly, that's what Himmel the hero would do. I'm out of here. Peace.
楽しかったよ。元気でね。